Hello out there in internet land. Today I'm going to discuss and show you the process to get the volume of a disk. Okay, so let's get ready for this one. And before I do that, let me show you my credentials here. Okay, so yeah, this is construction math. So if you're interested in getting your construction license, if you are a real estate agent or broker, or in general, if you are interested in geometry, improving your math skills, this is the place to go, okay? So now let's go over to how to get a volume of a disk. All right, so first of all, this is a disk. You can see it here floating around in space. Now, in the CSLB's exams, you will encounter problems in 2 dimensions or in 3 dimensions. So we're talking about volume in 3 dimensions, okay? 2 dimensions. And you will also need to know how to do unit conversions, because we have the English or the customary units here in the United States, but the whole wide world uses the metric system. And occasionally you might find plans in the metric system. Okay, so here we have, okay, so right now you guys see a circle. Okay, so the circle, okay, so you will need to know this equation. The area of a circle is pi times r squared. So pi is equal to 3.14159, and it goes on for infinity. This right here is infinity, okay? But for construction purposes, all you need to know is that pi is equal to 3.14, okay? 3.14, okay? This is the area of a circle. Now, from the center, what is a circle? A circle, the definition is all points equidistant to the center. Okay, this right here is the center. So all points equidistant to the center point is a circle. It's in 2 dimensions. Now, if you're wanting 3 dimensions, the same thing applies, but now you're talking about a sphere. Okay, so the longest line that you may inscribe within a circle is the diameter. And this is noted as the letter D. Okay. And from the center point outwards, this is the radius. That's noted as the letter R. Okay. So now we have equations that form naturally. Okay. So these equations are, you can see here that R plus R is equal to D. Then you have 2 times R is equal to D. And then we have 2R equal to D, and then R is equal to D over 2. Okay? You guys have that down, right? Okay, so this is just the area of the circle. But now, let me erase this stuff here. Okay, so we have R is equal to that stuff. Let's get this out of the way. Let's get this out of the way. Okay. Hmm. All right, so now we're back at the okay, this is the area. It's 2 dimensions. Now, if you go like this, you see 3 dimensions. Okay. So now, suppose you want the volume. That means you have to add the thickness. You have to include the thickness. Excuse me. So you multiply the thickness. You have to include that into this equation. Okay. Suppose this is 2 inches thick. And let's say the diameter is 10 inches. Okay. So now we can get the area, and then we can also get the volume. Okay. So to get let's get the area first. Okay. So this is the equation for the area. So what you do is just plug in the numbers. So area is equal to 3.14, and then times the radius. Okay, so if 10 inches is the diameter, that means the radius is 5 squared. So you have 3.14 times 25 to get the radius. Now, what you need to do at the test locations, they're going to give you a calculator. And it's going to be a simple calculator. So just get that out. There it is. All right, so let's just, what you do now is you go 25 times 3.14 is equal to 78.5. 78.5. What units do you put in? This is inches, so it's inches squared. Okay, you have to include the units, because if you exclude the units, you're going to get the answer incorrect. Okay. All right, so now we have the area now of the circle. Now you have to include the 2 inches to get the volume. So now all you do is this. You go volume is equal to the height, and then just bring this over here. So you multiply it by pi times r squared, like that. Okay, now you can maneuver the stuff around, so you can change it to volume is equal to pi times r squared, and then times the height, or the thickness. Okay, you have the equation now, and the units are all the same, inches. Now, if the units were different, you needed to convert it to the same. All right, so now this part right here is 78.5, right? You got that right here. And then 2 inches. So you just do that. So just multiply that out. You have 78.5 times 2. It's 157. Okay. Inches cubed is the volume. Okay. That's the answer. That's the answer to this problem. Now, if you're dealing with concrete, okay, so like, let me give you another one here. If you're dealing with concrete, the answer is always going to be in uh, cubic yards. Okay, so it's going to be like this: yards cubed, but it's going to be expressed as this, CY. Okay, so like for me, when I first was involving myself in the construction business, I have a math background, so I was accustomed to this. But the bags of cement deal with these units and with the letters CY, cubic yards. Okay, so like suppose we had 1,500. No, make it 15,000. 15,000 inches cubed or cubic inches. Okay, convert that into cubic yards. Okay, how do you do that? All right, so all you need to know are 3 conversions, and then you may convert everything or the majority of the conversions. Let me give you those conversions. So first one is, of course, is 1 yard is equal to 3 feet. Okay. Then 1 foot is equal to 12 inches. Okay. And then 2.54 centimeters is equal to 1 inch. So just know these conversions and you can do the rest. Okay. So like for this problem, we have 15,000 cubic inches and we want cubic yards. So you do the following. Okay. So you write 15,000. Then you write inches cubed, right? You have to, when you're dealing with the units, you handle them like you would a number, okay? So inches cubed could be like inches, 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 multiplying them all, okay? It's the same thing, like inches multiplied by inches multiplied by inches, like that. It's the same thing as the above right there. It's okay. That's the same thing. Okay. Now this is the important part. So like, first let me give you guys an example. So like, let's say you have a random number. Let's see whatever it could be. Let's say 15. 15 over 15 is equal to 1. You multiply it by 1, multiply it by 1 over 1, multiply by another 1. The answer is still going to be 1. Okay. It's because 15 is the same quantity as 15. All right. Now, that's true, but also this is true. 1 yard over 3 feet is equal to 1. That's true because 1 yard is the same thing as 30 feet. It looks weird, but it's a fact. And the same applies for the other one. So like 1 foot and 2.54 centimeters. But here we have 1 yard in the numerator spot and 3 feet in the denominator spot. But you can also do it like this. 3 feet over 1 yard is equal to 1. Okay. These are all the same. Okay, so understand that. Okay. If you don't, just pause it and understand it. Okay. Now, we want to convert this cubic inches into cubic yards. So you need to get rid of the inches. Okay, so how many inches are in 1 yard? See this right here? Oops. You can see that 1 yard over 36 inches is the same. 1 yard is the same thing as 36 inches. Okay? Because this right here is equal to 1. So you're not going to change the 15,000 cubic inches. You're just changing the appearance of it. Okay? So let me get rid of this. Now you do it again twice. Okay. Now we have the yards, 3 of them in the numerator spot. That's what we wanted. Okay, so now just take out your calculator and compute. So let me do it first. Okay, so this is the way I would do it. Oops. Okay, so I would go like this. Okay, so you go 36. I would multiply all the 36s at once. This is the most efficient way to do it. Okay, you go 36 squared times another 36, like that. Okay, and then you have to invert it by touching this right here. Okay, then you multiply it by 15,000. So you're going to get 0.3215. 0.3215. Okay, inches is gone. You're only left with yards, so it's yards cubed. Okay. Let me go over this and check. 1 yard, 36, 36, 36. Okay, so 36 that times another 36 is that. Invert it times 15, 2, 3. Yep, that's what I get. Okay, so that's the answer. 0.3215 yards cubed. Okay, so during the test, you're not going to be allowed uh, Google. Okay, you're going to only be allowed a calculator, pencil, paper, and a rule. Okay, so that's the answer for this. Now, you want to check the answer? Let's check the answer. Okay, so to check the answer, let's ask Google what it is. Okay, just a minute. Okay, let's see. All righty. Okay, so I wrote right here, convert 15,000 cubic inches into cubic yards. You have it in right there, and you get the same answer right here. Okay, now during the test, you are not gonna be fortunate enough to ask Google, okay, or artificial intelligence. You will only be accorded um, um, a simple uh, calculator. Okay. So stay tuned for more math problems. I'll be glad to do them. Okay. So have a nice day. Talk to you guys later.